raw and nerdy.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Raw and Nerdy. This is episode number 47. I am Joe the Widget, and I am joined by the talent of the show, my co-host, starting with Rook.
What's up, everybody? Yep, I'm here, and I got stuff to talk about, so let's get to it.
Usually do. We don't do shows with nothing to talk about. We're joined as always by Archon.
What's up, everybody? I got stuff to talk about too. So, yeah, let's do it.
You guys are just on a roll right now. This will be fun. So this show is going to be a lot about Gamescom. There was a lot of news that came out in the gaming industry. So we got a lot to talk about that. It broke a lot of records and stuff like that. So it's going to be pretty cool. But like usual, though, we're going to get into our usual tangents first when we talk about what we've been doing all week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I did pretty much the same thing as Rook all week. So I'm not even going to worry about that. Except, in the gaming world.
Yeah, lame.
The only thing I didn't do I did was different was I watched Cobra Kai. I got sick from Monday until like Thursday. And
Did you finish the first part of this season?
I finished all but one episode.
Why do you do that?
I remember today that I didn't watch the last one. I fell asleep watching it.
You do this. You did the same thing when you watched what was it, the Fallout show? You got all the way to the last episode and then just sat there for like a month and didn't watch the last episode.
I don't know, man. This new season has gotten so dang cheesy.
Yeah, it's
that I was kind of
easier as it goes, but it's still
really about this one so far. So
I haven't watched the dramatic episode yet.
I haven't watched Cobra Kai, so then again, I take that back. I started watching it and lost interest within the first 5 minutes. So I was like,
well, then you didn't give it a fair shake at all.
You gotta give it a fair shake.
The problem is, if a show does not catch my attention and keep it within the first 5 to 10 minutes, and I can just ignore the show while I'm gaming, then there's a problem.
Well,
NCIS,
you don't watch very many shows.
Actually, I watch quite a few, like Star Trek, NCIS. I will actually pay attention to the show while I'm trying to game.
But wait. Most Star Trek episodes start out really slow, and they don't build until like 15, 20 minutes in.
Yeah, but see, I'm used to that from like way when I was a kid.
I see.
No, actually, no. Lately, Strange New Worlds has been starting off with pretty quickly, and then it has its slow section at the beginning, and then it picks back up.
Let me pull up my notepad.
Let me.
This will be $120 an hour.
I'm gonna throw down a challenge for you here, Rook. I am willing to challenge you to get through the first season of Cobra Kai and not want to watch the second. That's my challenge to you.
You challenge me to do that, and I will not watch the second season.
No, I'm saying I'm not saying don't watch the second. I'm saying don't like. I'm willing to bet you that if you watch the first season, you will want to watch the second season. Like you will want to keep going.
See, the problem is people said the same thing about Halo, and after the first few episodes of Halo, I dropped out of it because I didn't like it.
I didn't really hear great things about Halo, and that's aren't they like canceling it because
it never made it to season 2.
Yeah,
no, it made it to season 2. It's not making it past season 2.
Right.
Yeah, I knew it got canceled.
I enjoyed it because I didn't know the story behind Halo that well. So
see, that was the problem. Is they created Halo and they did this whole change to the universe for the TV series. But the people you got to get interested in the show are the people that play the games and already have the story of the universe. And you just flip that all on 180 and everybody just loses interest. Well, not everybody. Some people actually did like the show. So anyhow.
Some did, yeah. But comparing Cobra Kai to Halo is like comparing a pea to an orange.
Yeah, they're not the same thing. Even close.
It was the campiness of the show that made me not interested in it for Cobra Kai.
It doesn't even it's not even campy in the first season. Especially not the first 15 minutes. If I remember right, isn't the first 15 minutes when he's like when Johnny Lawrence is at the lady's house trying to hang a television?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It wasn't good enough for me to remember it, so I don't remember. Goodness. I do remember watching it, and the main what's his name played Daniel. That character coming off as a dick. And now it's like I'm just not interested. when he came off like that, I was like, I'm just not very interested in
Okay,
watching a
so-
character.
So if you watch the show, okay, the show is from Johnny's perspective, not like at least at the beginning. It's from Johnny's
Yeah, in the
perspective,
beginning.
not from Daniel's. And if you watch the show, it kind of gives you a whole different perspective on the original Karate Kid movies. Because if you really think about it, like
It didn't for me. I know what they were trying to
did
do,
for-
but
it did for me because like if you go back and rewatch those movies now, you realize that like Daniel was at fault in a lot of that. Like he did a lot of things to instigate getting his own butt kicked. Like he went into the shower or into the bathroom and like poured
then
like
you have the
hose
argument.
and
Well,
hosed people
they
down and,
started
like,
bullying him first, so he was just getting revenge on him.
I don't know.
Because they did. They bullied him way in the beginning without him doing anything. So, just saying.
You know what? If I'm gonna watch any kind of martial arts show, it's gonna be the anime Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple because it pretty much is that.
am very, very, very picky about my martial arts movies and shows because I spent 34 years doing martial arts. Yeah, there's very few I can watch without cringing. Karate Kid, the martial arts is terrible, but I love the story behind it.
The show
So,
is funny.
It's a fun show. It's what it's meant to be. It's just supposed to be a fun show, and that's what it is. When martial arts movies take them seriously, that's where I take issue with. I did really enjoy the new Mortal Kombat because some of the martial arts was pretty legit. But it's like what we call in the martial arts world as Hollywood foo, because real fighting is not like that ever. If you ever go watch an actual professional tournament, it's not like that.
Yeah, I mean you gotta watch the right ones. Like if you
Yeah,
watch
there's some I really enjoyed. Like my top favorite ones, Best of the Best.
that was a good one. Yep.
Love that movie. Bloodsport was really good,
I did like that one, yep.
and I don't really like Van Damme, especially as a person. He's a jerk in person. The one time I met him, didn't like him.
Nice.
One time you met him.
Yeah, he was not a pleasant person to be around. But
Well, it really depends upon the.
and he's not a martial
artist.
artist; he's a kickboxer.
Yeah,
Big
and
difference.
he picked up kickboxing later in life right before he became an actor. He was a gymnast.
And there was one by Jet Li.
Jet Li has a few that I like.
There's one of them. He does Wing Chun, and Wing Chun martial art kung fu is very similar to what I have my master belt in, called Go Ryu, which is an Okinawa and Kempo form, which has its roots in Wing Chun. So the speed of Go Ryu versus Wing Chun is very, very, very similar. Like we're extremely fast martial arts, just like Wing Chun. So I love watching Jet Li and what he does. And there was one of them where he really puts it on display big time, and I cannot think of the name of it. It was by far one of my favorites.
Some of my favorite martial art movies, and I also did martial arts, so I'm kind of picky as well. I really like the Ong Bak movies. I think they're done very well, and I think the martial arts in them are very well. And if have you ever seen the movie Ninja Assassin?
Yes,
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, are you kidding me? I love that movie,
I
dude.
can't
it's an
stand it.
awesome movie.
Too gory.
Oh, I love that. It is very gory, but
I
it is
can't
very
get
good.
past the gory.
Oh, it is very, very good.
What do y'all think about Ip Man?
Ip Man was pretty good.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie, that
pretty
one's
good.
pretty good. The story was but it was really good. And I'm trying to remember, was it The Legend? No, Fearless.
The
It was
problem
Fearless.
is Jet Li has a lot of Wing Chun movies,
Yeah, because that's his main style.
but he's good in most of them.
Yes.
Kung Pao is by far the best martial arts movie ever, hands down.
No, stop.
I'm with you. And you know they're making a Kung Pao too?
They are?
Yes.
No,
Look it up.
stop.
It's being made right now, and it looks hilarious.
You need to stop right now.
You don't like? What about Kung Fu Hustle? That's the
Kung
one.
Fu
I was,
Hustle. Which one's that one?
that's the one I was thinking about. It's actually making a second one.
No,
Saying-
Kung Pao is making a
Oh,
Kung Pao
yeah.
too.
Not Kung Pao, but the Kung Fu Hustle was what I was originally thinking about. That one is hilarious.
Saying Kung Pao is a good karate movie is like saying
No, it's that one.
Balls
Yes,
of
Kung Fu,
Fury is a good
I'm not.
sports
I'm just saying
movie.
it's a great comedy. That's all I'm saying.
Kung Fu Hustle is, now that I see the screenshots from it, I love that movie.
It's so good. They're making a sequel to it, and I'm like, oh, I got to see that because I was laughing so hard in that movie. I don't laugh very much in movies, but there's only a couple that have ever made me laugh that hard. But that one got me, especially in the knife scene where he's trying to throw a dagger at the lady at the apartments. Oh, with the snakes. If you don't know what that is, you got to see it. It's freaking hilarious. I was in tears.
Oh, sigh.
This is why I love doing this show.
Oh,
Hey, the best martial arts TV show ever was WMAC Masters.
Dude.
Kung Fu:
Dude,
The
that was
Legend
that
Continues.
was like
You
one
gotta
of
shut
the
up
most.
now.
That was one of the most horrible shows I've
And I want to
ever
clarify
seen,
something to
ever.
people. Karate and Kung Fu are not the same thing.
Martial arts. Every martial art's different.
Budo or Kung Fu. Two different schools, two different regions of the world, two different schools of study.
So we'll clarify it like this: Kung Fu and karate are both martial arts, but they're not the same.
Yeah.
They're
It's
both
like
martial
like
arts.
saying an apple pie is the same as a cake. Both desserts.
No, it's like
No.
It's like saying all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares.
No, it's more like saying all apple pie are pie. However, an apple pie and a pumpkin pie are not the same.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. They're very different styles.
I don't know, I like my way of saying it better. This is what I love. I barely mentioned one thing about my week, and been recording for 12 minutes.
I don't even remember what about your week. You watched
Cobra Kai, yeah.
Part of Cobra Kai.
So I got sick last week, and then on Friday, I didn't go to the gym. Normally I take Tuesdays off anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. I went Monday morning, and then I realized I was really sick. Took half a Monday off, took Tuesday off. Went back to work Wednesday and Thursday, but I didn't go to the gym, which is my normal gym days. I figured I need to give my body some rest, relax. But Friday I was not 100% yet, maybe about 80%, so I was getting there. But I went to the gym and I told myself I'm going to do a light, easy workout. I got to reach my goals. I'm going to do it. And I wound up doing a full entire workout, high-stress workout the entire way through. I was like, you got to be kidding me, Joe. What were you thinking? I got home. I better not get sick again or relapse. But no, I was fine. Been feeling fine all weekend. Been going to the gym again all weekend. Played golf yesterday. Shot a 76 on the back nine. I was so ecstatic. No, 70.
Very nice.
Yeah, 76.
Very nice.
36. What am I doing? Not 76. I shot one over par on the back.
So on the back nine.
So 37. I shot 37. Sorry.
I like the idea of you shooting 76 on the back nine.
Yeah, no, that's a terrible day. I did so terrible on the front nine. Because I was talking to one of our new listeners, or one of our listeners, new to the Discord, about golf recently, and he's in Scotland, plays golf out there, and it's like, yeah, I got to do well, because I'm going to post my scores and talk about it with him, and then I get out there, I do absolutely terrible. My drives were okay. I was getting 240, 250. No big deal. I was hitting the fairway mostly. Irons were terrible. Couldn't aim worth a darn. Got on the green, and I couldn't putt to save my life. There was 4 times out of those 9 holes where I was on the green in regulation. So what that is like you land on the green within a certain amount of strokes. So if it's a par 4, you need to get the ball in the hole in four shots. So in order to get that in regulation, you have to land it the second shot on the green. I would do that, then it would putt 3 times or 4 times. And I was getting so mad. But by the back 9, everything just clicked. And I started kicking butt. My putting was fantastic. I was hitting every single green in regulation. It was just, my irons were beautiful. I hit a 160-yard shot over water to go onto a green, a narrow portion of the green where the pin was. Couldn't see the pin with a 5-iron and just plopped it. And you could see my divot mark 4 inches to the right of the hole.
Now, here's the question for you, sir. How many furs did you have?
On the back 9, I was like 90%. I think
now,
there was
are you
one
sure?
that didn't make it.
Now, are you sure? Because I've been on that same course, and I'm
know positive.
It's really hard to see where the fairway ends.
Well, when you play that every single week, you get used to where that dirt is fairway. That dirt past it is not. I play on a desert course, so there are patches of dirt periodically throughout the course, but there's a lot of grass still. So it's definitely a golf course, but sometimes your ball will be in the fairway and it won't exactly be on grass.
Mm-hmm. I hated that because
my dad and I, we give ourselves relief off of that, so you shouldn't have to hit off the dirt in the middle of the fairway. And if there's grass within like a few inches from where your ball landed, put it on the grass and hit it. I'm not a pro.
One of these days I'll have to bring you out here to Texas and we'll have to go find a course out here to play on.
Oh yeah, I plan on going out there and visiting you for sure. Now, I need a big change in my life, and I don't know where I'm going to be moving. I talked about this briefly, but I don't know what's going to be happening. I'm hoping and praying for some great news this week, so we'll see what happens with that. And that's all I'm going to mention about that. I'm not going to get in my personal life like that. I did play a couple of games all week. And I played them with Archon and Rook. Well, mostly Rook because Archon was playing EverQuest.
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen.
I like my.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, see, exactly, got it.
I like my EverQuest.
Yeah, I know.
So let's be honest. You played 3 games this week, counting today.
Me?
No.
Oh,
No, I only played 2.
You played Enshrouded.
Yes, and Boulders Gate.
You played Boulders Gate 3 with me, and you did play Starfield.
Well, yeah, I do play that every week. That's a
See,
must play. I have to.
I haven't played Starfield since that patch update yet.
But honestly,
so I
yes.
only played 2.
I have. I was excited to play Starfield this last week because of Gamescom and what they announced. We'll get into that a little bit because I want to get your take on it, Rook, because you weren't on the show to do it for Starfield.
All right.
We'll get into that in a minute, but I'm not going to talk about the games yet because you're going to talk about them too. I'll just jump in during that. But first, Archon, what you been up to, man?
oh, me first.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because I know
Well-
me and Rook are getting on tangents.
You kind of spoiled it, but I've been playing EverQuest.
Woo,
Well, I
EverQuest.
think we can all figure that out. I think it's been on your list for the last 2 months, 3 months.
Every time I log into Discord, Archon playing EverQuest.
Okay, here's the thing though. Sometimes even when I'm not playing EverQuest, or when I'm not really paying attention to EverQuest, I'll be playing a game on one computer and I'll have EverQuest up on the other computer, which is the one that has my Discord usually on it. And so Discord will show that I'm in EverQuest, but I'm really just there, like either selling stuff or auctioning stuff while I'm playing something else on my main PC. So it's
So you're multitasking.
yeah. I mean, but I also like I've gotten a lot of stuff done in EverQuest this week. It's been pretty fun, but I mean, for the most part, my week has been consumed with my shoulder and physical therapy and just being in pain and taking naps just
And
for
then
a reason.
you decided to get sick like me and copy me.
Well, no, I've been taking a lot of naps and stuff because that's the one thing I can do to like make my shoulder not hurt for a little while, at least not know it hurts. So, but then my daughter this week has been working as well, and the people at her work were sick, so she brought it home, and now then I got sick, and then yeah. Yesterday I did something that was really weird. Me and my daughter went to Cedar Point, which, if you know me, isn't really that weird, but like we went there. She's doing this thing for school. She's got a new art class this year. She just started school, and in her art class, they have to do the whole semester. They have to do like every project is going to be like they have to choose a theme at the beginning of the year and follow the theme throughout the whole year. The theme she chose was roller coasters, and so they're not allowed to use any pictures or anything like that from the internet because like drawing a picture from the internet is basically still copywriting and stuff, so they can't do that. So she has to take all of her own photos. So we went to Cedar Point with the mindset of she's going there to like take pictures and videos and stuff of the roller coasters from different angles, all the different angles, so that when she does all of her art projects, she has all these pictures to use. And we went there, we rode one thing, which wasn't even a good ride. It was this ride called the Wild Mouse, which is just like a little like tiny roller coaster that's not even anything major. We rode that, and that's literally the only thing we rode all day. We drove 3.5 hours to get there so that she could take pictures of all the rides for about 3 hours, and then we're just like, both of us were like, I don't really feel like riding anything right now because neither of us felt very good. And then we just got in the car and went home. So we drove for 7 hours so that we could be at Cedar Point for 3 hours so she could take some pictures.
Oh well, you're doing that for your daughter. You're a good dad.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a good time, even though it was a lot of driving and stuff for a very little time. We had a good time. We spent, got to spend some time together and, just go do something fun together. And even though it wasn't what we usually do when we're there, we still had a good time. So
I would kill to spend that kind of time with either of my kids right now.
Yeah.
I would kill to have kids to spend that kind of time with right now.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
No, as long as you had a good time, that's all that matters.
All three of us did wind up playing Enshrouded for a large part of the yesterday as well.
Yeah, that was fun. That was
a blast.
I had a lot of fun with that. And I'd be down to do that some more later. Maybe, I don't know, maybe.
Rook and his low levelness up back there just kicking back and trying to heal us as me and Archon plow through the hollowed halls and
even that we weren't plowing through too hard.
Not the third one.
We were in was getting kind of tough.
Yeah.
It was getting hard for me to keep up with the healing.
I've been building my base a lot this week. So I took a spot because you can get these little flame altars that you can put down and you can upgrade it, but it gives you the space where you can build. We've talked about this before. That's like how the game it memorizes the area where you're building. So the memory does not reset there. So you can build whatever you want. Anytime you dig or anything like that, it stays. I've been building a medieval village and got a lot of it done, at least the basics of it. So I have a lot of the detail work, which is not where I'm the best at, but I'm going to give it a shot. It's been fun. And I built my keep. I built it, tore it completely down, rebuilt it.
Do we have like all the different crafting things unlocked?
Most of the blocks, not all of them.
Pretty much all the.
And we don't
important
have
ones,
all the stuff for the crafters either, like all the cosmetic
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what I was wondering. Is do we have all the stuff unlocked?
And there's
for
that new zone, the Northern Jungle, which has 4 or 5 more crafting things that we don't have. And we just got the new Hollowed Halls block yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot we still have to unlock. I haven't been doing it because I wanted to do it with you guys, so I didn't do it. I did one thing for the cook, and that was get the beehive, because I wanted to make some recipes. Other than that, no.
Oh, you did get the beehive and stuff.
I leveled up 4 times just by crafting.
Yeah,
and going to get materials.
That's the main thing that like I want to do. I want to get over to the area that we haven't been yet, like the main area, the Kindle Waste, like southeast corner of the map-ish, because that's kind of the area that I think I want to build in.
Okay.
And B, I want to make sure we have all the different things unlocked, like the cosmetic stuff, all that kind of stuff unlocked.
I've enjoyed taking my time on it, because I haven't done. I'm gonna make changes to my base when we get more stuff unlocked, but I've been in no rush to unlock anything. Just chill with you guys and do that.
Yeah, I've been so busy building my tower. I haven't even done any of my personal quests I need to knock out because this tower's huge.
I picked a spot on top of a mountain to build my place. Rook's in the jungle, and Archon's gonna be in the desert.
Yep.
See, I thought there was that new area that was supposed to be like snow covered. I was tempted to build there, but
no, the new area is like a weird deep jungle swamp area.
I thought there was 2 new areas they unlocked, but I don't know where the other one's at. I have to look it up sometime.
Is there? Maybe it's north of where we just did that dungeon last night.
Yeah, maybe, because I've got some quests up there.
There was an area to go up there that we didn't like our shroud level wasn't high enough to where we could go up there, so I never went up there. But now we have our shroud at the highest levels, so we should probably be able to get up there now.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else you've been up to?
I started playing Starfield again.
Yes, because you're back on the show. Everyone went wild.
Back on Starfield Raw. People seem to like that. But with Rook taking his new job and not being able to, be there for a lot of the recording, we needed a third person, so I came back to that show, and that's been a lot of fun. But that means I got to play Starfield again, and with all the changes and stuff like that, I had to start over. I realized I hadn't played since April 2nd.
Yeah,
so
it's been a while.
There's been a bunch of new patches, and I couldn't remember what any of the hotkeys were for anything. So I just started over, and
I cannot believe that game's been out for a year already.
Yeah, just what day did it release? I don't know.
It's in September, I think.
Well, we had early access. Really we had it right at the end of August.
We didn't have early access. We started the day launch.
We had 3 days.
We had a 5. It's either 3 days or 5 days early access.
Days. It was 3 days, yeah, because I remember the experience.
It released officially September 6th.
Yeah, so we started playing September 3rd or something like that.
And I took that entire week off.
It was right by my stepson's birthday, and his birthday's the 3rd. So yeah,
all right, Rook, what have you been up to, man?
Stuff.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
So outside of working and sleeping and fitting in gaming where I can, not much. House hunting, trying to find a place. Now I'm in the home stretch of needing to find a place. But rentals here in Texas, most of them except German Shepherds. But I got to find a house that's big enough and she's not going to be cooped up in a hotel or apartment. That way she can go outside on her own and stuff. But other than that, I played a lot of Enshrouded.
We talked you into it finally.
It hurts me. Well, you bought it. That's the right reason why I'm playing it.
Yeah, I did buy it for you.
It hurts me to say this, but you and Archon are right. I like the game.
I kind of gathered how much time you spent in it.
And of course,
listen to us on Cobra Kai too, because you'll like that too.
Of course, with me and how I am in every game I can build, I didn't start off with a small base.
No,
I
never.
went big. Those of y'all who've listened to the show long enough know I love Dragonlance. Dragonlance has the towers of high sorcery.
Most fantasy has towers of high sorcery.
I am making a tower of sorcery in Enshrouded. And the base is, I want to say the blocks are 1 meter by 1 meter base. This is a 72 meter by 72 meter. This is a circle that has a diameter of 72 meters. So it's
Yeah, he's like on floor 3. It's gonna take him forever to finish it. But that's the fun thing about games like this. Like the project I'm doing is gonna take me forever to do the details. I still have a couple more buildings to build. I'm gonna make it look and feel like a medieval village as much as possible. Like all my buildings are shells right now. I got to put stuff inside of them. That's gonna take me forever.
Yeah, I just wish because we only have 2 more flames I think we could put down. So if you run out of space, we got to be careful with how many flames we're putting down so that we can. I mean, there's probably
I'm
one
gonna
or
be
two
sticking with my build area. I'm not gonna go past it.
Okay. Yeah,
I
mean,
should be able to stay within my build area.
We could probably pick up 1 or 2 because 1 or 2 of them we don't really use anymore, and one of them you put down for a quest, and one of them I put down for a quest. So
no, I put that one down not for a quest, but I put it down for resource gathering. I took the other one up that I put down for the quest. I took that one up.
The one that was down on a little island in the middle of all the shroud.
Yeah, I already took that one up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have another one that could probably get picked up too because you already have an tin place, and I put it down just because there was tin nearby.
I didn't know that when I went looking for 10.
Oh yeah, I had.
And your copper place has been very useful though. Not your copper, your iron.
Oh yeah. The iron one rocks.
So other than resources, we don't really need them down. So we'll have plenty. And then Rook and I did play Boulders Gate 3 again. We're doing our regular Sunday tradition now and play another, 4 or 5 hours today?
Yeah, and we had our first party wipe in the game ever.
And Rook and I were like, okay, it's time to quit for the day.
Yeah, it was tough. I don't know what it is, but I've played before on PC, and we've played before on PS2, and we never struggled like we are right now. PS5. And I just think, PS5.
Did you just say PS2?
Yeah, either PS2 or PS3. But no, we're playing, and we've never really struggled like we were today. It's like our tactics were way off.
Well, one fight, the first fight we got into, my dice wouldn't roll more higher than a 2.
Oh, it was horrible. He was critically missing while getting critically hit
every single turn.
Almost every turn. He had 2 turns where he didn't get critically hit.
I was like, hit.
Wow.
And they kept dropping me, and then as soon as I get picked up, they dropped me again, another critical. And the few times I got to attack was all misses except for 1 dagger strike, and that was it. It was insane.
I was watching this fight. So I'm running my character, and I'm running Shadowheart, and we've converted her into a life domain cleric. I was struggling to keep Widget up this entire time. I would get him up, and he'd immediately go down.
Yeah.
It was rough.
I've been controlling the melee portion of the group. Myself and Lazelle.
Yeah, so it is funny. I have both casters, and he has both martial characters. But it was that fight set the tone for our entire gameplay session. We were rocking it last week on Sunday when we were playing. This week, not so much.
Well, we did wipe out the goblins pretty easily, except for one point.
Yeah, the what's his name? The king of the goblins in that area.
Yeah, it kind of wiped out Rook's main character pretty quick.
Oh, I got my revenge.
Yeah, I mean, we did beat it. You're the only one that dropped, so.
Oh, well, it's a sorcerer. What do you expect? I didn't give him mage armor, which is my fault.
How many people can you play in a party on that game?
4. Interesting.
I'm just saying.
I mean, this doesn't just have to be a Widget and Rook thing.
No,
it can be not. It can be an RAW thing. I mean, you have a PC. We have a PC.
Most definitely.
It's actually better on PC in my opinion.
Having spent the money on the game, I should probably play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have an open invite, sir.
We'll see.
All right, Rook, what else, man?
Especially now that we lost a party member because I told you to tell the hunter yes.
Yes, we lost our vampire. He got hunted.
Poor Asterion is now hunted. He's been snatched.
We didn't have run into our problems until we went south. That's where we started running into some serious problems.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be tough. I didn't know it was going to be that hard.
I didn't remember it being that high level and that tough.
Mm-mm. All right, so obviously I started looking for D&D groups in this area because there are people who actually play at buildings with dice, so I can actually
Public
play
buildings.
with dice. Yes. There's actually a couple of places out here that I found. Apparently, Dallas-Fort Worth is a much bigger D&D group area than I expected it to be. Especially in Fort Worth, I found like 2 or 3 stores that'll actually host games.
That's what I'm telling you, man. You gotta look.
While I was at 2 of the D&D stores, one is Games Underground, and the other one was Wild West Games or Wild West Comics. If y'all happen to listen to the show, y'all have great stores, lots of merchandise in both stores. I saw a Star Trek TTRPG that's been out for a couple of months called Star Trek Adventures. I might actually buy that book and then look into running a Star Trek game. They have one a little Star Trek Adventures book that said solo role-playing game. So they have a solo version of it that might be able to scale up for a small party. So we'll see how that goes. But otherwise, that's been pretty much my week in the nerdy realm. Oh, yeah, I got one more thing I want to give a shout out to. One of our listeners, also a personal friend of mine, but she gives a shout out specifically to Widget and another author we were trying to get on the show to interview named Tila. She goes, I've just kept it on the side about her writing, more of a hobby like music. She goes, but Tila and Widget making their dreams come true made me feel like it's possible to make mine come true too. Another coworker of ours where Tila works also started writing again. He was inspired by Tila's book too. It's so cool all the lives you're touching with your podcast and people's inspiration you've awakened.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that is from Rabbit Proof Gaming. She is an awesome person, and hearing her say that, if one person's thinking it, more people, or if one person's saying it, more people are probably thinking it.
I really want to get my 3rd book done. I'm waiting until I get some things figured out and settled in my life, but once I do, I'm going to knock that book out. I have some great ideas for it. And just go for it. I'm a huge proponent of going after your dreams. I've always, my entire life, gone after goals, and I never stopped until I reached them. Like, I made it to World Martial Arts Championships. I got my book published. I got my cartoon when I was a kid published in newspapers. Just little things, but all those little things meant the world to me.
Yeah, it's
doing a podcast with my 2 best friends. There you go.
It's hearing praise like that when you really don't think about how you're affecting other people. We're just doing this for fun. And if you get any kind of inspiration or anything else out of that, that's awesome. We would love to hear that feedback. This is fun for us, but it gives us another sense of surrealness when people are actually using it as motivation.
Yeah, I absolutely love hearing those things from our listeners. It makes all the effort myself and the guys put in doing these shows completely worth it. And like a listener, Alex, came on and said that he's been listening to Starfield Raw and Raw Nerdy for a year now in his journey to and from work and loves them. Something simple like that means everything to us, and we really appreciate it. And if you guys really like these shows, Starfield Raw and Nerdy, please give us 5-star reviews on iTunes and Spotify. It really helps us a lot. It's one of the best ways you guys can help us. Helps get the word out. When we get 5-star reviews, it's a better odds of us getting the front page of either of those platforms and people realizing we exist.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gamescom was this last week, guys. A lot of goodies came out. A lot of goodies. In fact, Gamescom this year broke every convention record. They had 335,000 visitors in person. San Diego Comic-Con, 1/3 of that was their record.
Yeah, I wish there could have been 3 more.
So that little town in Cologne, Germany, got invaded.
Yeah?
By the nerds.
Yeah, it was huge. And the amount of shows I looked at all the videos and the photos of the showroom floor. Oh, it reminds me of E3 so much. I miss those days going to those conventions. So I really One of my goals is to go to Gamescom 2025. I want to go so bad. And I want to take one or both my best buddies with me to do it. That's going to be a big, fun deal. And if I plan it in advance, get the airline in advance, it should be affordable. So definitely want to do that. And they had 310 million video views for the shows and the showing of the floor, the live streams.
Mm-hmm.
That's just up to Saturday evening. That's not including the rest of Sunday night or Saturday night and Monday and Sunday, which they had. It's actually now officially closed by now, but this morning was like the last part of it because of the time difference. And their opening night, they had 40 million live video views.
Nice.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's insane. It is by far the biggest video game convention in the world now that E3 is no longer a thing. We basically call it the new E3, basically. But they had a lot of interesting games, some that we've already known about, and a couple that have been announced coming. And before we get into the rest, let's talk about Starfield really quick, because we talk about it on the other show, Starfield Raw in detail. Me and Archon and Kilo got into detail about it. But Rook, another Starfield fan, it was a big component of that show for the longest time, still a part of the show, doing your little new segment, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to hear your thoughts about it, though, because they did announce the Shattered Space DLC's official release date, 30th of September.
Yeah, if I can remember correctly, you said somewhere around the beginning of September. I said near the end of October, and I don't know where Kilo was on that.
Oh, yeah, it was Kilo. Archon didn't have his bet at that time.
Well, I've been saying forever that it was going to be sometime a little, like right around the 1 year anniversary, which I'm pretty dang close.
Yeah, you're about 3.5 weeks too late or too early.
The fall of 2024 falls around the 1 year anniversary, so you would have been
pretty best,
right anyway. But it is right around where we thought it would come out. So,
and what about the new patch they dropped opening night?
I don't know much about that patch, except for there was a lot of pushback on the glitching.
Yeah, there was. I don't care about that. The big thing about
it dropped the vehicle. I haven't had a chance. I haven't had a chance to run the Rev 8 yet. That will be covered in my logs when I actually do that recording, because I want to role play it. But I want to really get it and try it out. So far, some of the feedback I've heard is NPCs, when you're escorting an NPC, they won't get into the passenger seat.
Yeah, they will. Oh, the escort, no, because your follower goes in the passenger seat.
Yeah. And it reminds me of a combination of the Star Trek The Next Generation buggy and the Moon Rover.
Bethesda was one of the biggest presenters there, because Microsoft brought their two biggest studios with them, Bethesda and Blizzard. And they had a lot of things about that. Blizzard was just basically talking about things that they already announced that's coming out. The new Diablo 4 expansion and a new expansion for World of Warcraft. That was their big push for Blizzard side.
Yeah, they actually went a little further. Like, they started talking about the next expansion in the saga, in the World Soul Saga. Like, not the one that comes out in, tomorrow, but the one that comes out next. They kind of announced a little bit about that, which was for fans.
One thing I was really disappointed about was Bethesda did not announce Elder Scrolls 6. They didn't talk about it. We were all hoping for it. We were expecting it. Didn't happen.
Which means it'll probably be at least another year before they announce it, because I think Gamescom is gonna be the place they announce it.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll probably be at next year's, most likely.
Gamescom, or they take a Super Bowl commercial out and announce it there.
I wouldn't put it past them on that.
I mean, Microsoft did it with Halo.
They did something like that with Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim. I don't remember what it was, though.
I mean,
For some reason, I think it was a Super Bowl commercial. I don't remember.
If you do it where you have already a big audience focusing on that one area, not just gamers who are paying attention to the what's coming out, but where you hit more people and get them interested, they'll probably release it in some event like that.
Yeah, but I think the save bets with Archon, but I'm really hoping it's sooner, because I'm itching to get into that game. I really am.
Even if they announce it, it's going to be a while before we get it.
Bethesda focused on Starfield and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Or who knows? Maybe Bethesda will pull another hat out of their bag and be like, oh hey guys, Elder Scrolls 5, it's out today. Or Elder Scrolls 6, it's out today.
Without
Go to
telling
the store,
anybody
buy it.
anything about it. Yeah, just it's out.
A
Like they do
gamer.
with everything to do with Starfield.
No,
Go buy it. It's out today.
if you look at their track record for announcing games, they'll announce it like a year, maybe a year and a half before it comes out.
I think with the whole Starfield thing, they're kind of getting like started spacing or stepping back because they were hyping Starfield for 7-8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Every convention, that's what they were talking about. Starfield, new Starfield. And then when it came out, it was mixed. I mean, it's one of my favorite games of all time, but yeah, a lot of people were mixed about it. The new Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is coming December 9th. They showed a lot about that. They had a little bit of gameplay preview, but mostly just like the trailer they've already shown. The big thing, though, this is what got a lot of people questioning things and where it got the most hype was when they announced Indiana Jones coming to PlayStation 5 spring 2025. And it's a Bethesda title, and it's owned by Microsoft, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5 in the spring. 3 or 4 months after it comes out on Xbox. But a lot of people are speculating, does that mean Starfield might be coming out around that time as well for PlayStation 5?
That would be. I don't think it's going to come out that soon. They're going to keep milking it for Xbox to use it as their big push to switch over to this new streaming setup they want to do.
Now, one of the things that was talked about, it wasn't announced at the show, but it was talked about all over the place. You can find all over the news, a PS5 Pro, which is believed to be coming out next year, will be releasing. It's going to be their last system before they come out with a PS6, probably in 2026. That was all over the place. Now, when it comes to the games, one of the ones that I got interested in, I've been interested in for a while, but now even more so now I've seen it in action, was Dune Awakening.
I had
Yeah,
that
that
one
looks
wish
really
listed
good.
on Steam.
That one
Me
looks
too.
really good.
And it's a different take on survival games.
Well, Dune is a survival series, so.
Well, yeah, but the way
Yeah.
they have it set up, it's more like a survival MMORPG. Is what I got out of it when I was watching all the different gameplay and the trailers they put out for it.
Mm-hmm.
It
So
looks
it's like Enshrouded?
no, more so because it's a lot more players. Enshrouded's not an MMO. Enshrouded's a small player base server wise.
Yeah, but it's got the you level up. I mean, I
MMO,
guess
I'm
it's
talking
not
about the amount of
massive,
people
but
that you can have inside of it.
so this isn't gonna be like just like all the other survival games where you have to create your own server if you want people in there.
Nope. And it's the same makers who did Conan,
Right.
the survival game Conan, and what they're doing with it looks very interesting. Like you can raid other people's bases and things like that. It's kind of like Rust, but
There's
bigger.
a PvP element to it too.
Yeah,
huh?
It's kind of like, Conan.
but bigger. Conan's, again, you have to run your own server, small player base. Rust was where it's another survival game, but it had a larger player base per server.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I played Rust. I played Conan. I'm
So-
interested in it, so.
Yeah, very interested in it. I love Dune. I love the new
world of
movies.
Dune, so.
And they've actually had the producer from the Dune movies coming on to consult about this game. So got high hopes for that. Another one that was big that was talked about was Assassin's Creed Shadows. We already know that
Another
one's
one.
coming out.
Assassin's Creed, another one.
Yeah.
Personally, for
I-
me, I think they can just go ahead and end that series, and I'd be totally fine with it.
They can end Call of Duty and they can end Assassin's Creed, and it wouldn't hurt me one bit.
Well, they can never end Call of Duty because
Yeah,
The
too much
player
player
base
base.
that'd be like
Well,
that'd be like them ending Madden. They're not gonna do it because they get people that'll buy it every single year.
Yeah,
I used
that
to
is
be one of those
true.
people. I bought it up until about 6 years ago. I bought every single one every year. And me and my son played it every year. It was our thing. So, but my favorite Call of Duty after they did Advanced Warfare, the rest of them kind of faltered for me. I loved Advanced Warfare. I know people will complain about that, but it was my favorite.
When it came to Call of Duty and Battlefield, I preferred Battlefield story a lot better than Call of Duty.
I
But
didn't never cared about the story about any of those games. I
I
never
like
played them.
story. I played the story more than I did multiplayer.
I was all about the multiplayer on those games. Like when they did, was it Black Ops 3 where they had no story mode? I was like, hey, finally they get the picture.
Yeah, the biggest issue for me with Call of Duty and with Madden for that reason is that you pay full sticker price for basically what could just be a DLC every year. Like, there's no reason to keep selling me a new game to update my roster. There's no reason to sell me a whole new game to give me 2 new maps to shoot each other on. Like, that's just a DLC.
In the
Yeah.
case of Madden, it's they fall into this trap where we're going to add one new feature, or they promise they're going to improve something, and when you play the game, they slightly tweak the feature, and that was it.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
getting a little off track, guys. Let's focus.
That's what we do. That's
Yeah,
the
well-
whole point of what we do.
Welcome to Raw and Nerdy. Have you been here before?
Right.
Yeah. Hey now. I can still kind of rein you guys in a little bit. Yeah, I'm with you guys on Assassin's Creed. Not interested. Now, if they ever did, they're doing it the wrong way. It's focusing on samurai, but they weren't the assassins. Why aren't they focusing on the ninja aspect of it? For me, it
Yeah.
feels like a complete fail. So I'm
However,
not interested in it.
there is the one game that was announced that I am interested in.
Which
That
one?
one game?
Borderlands 4.
The one I have in bold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one I am definitely interested in. I'm a huge Borderlands fan.
Same.
Except
Eh.
we're gonna, all of us true Borderlands fans are gonna just pretend the movie didn't happen.
Right. It's not a part of the game, it's franchise, so we don't care.
We're just gonna pretend it didn't happen and not hold it against the game
It's
whatsoever.
kind of like pretending
We're gonna-
that the pre-sequel never happened.
or the original Mortal Kombat movies.
Well, the pre-sequel, the
Hey.
actual video game of Borderlands.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Hey, the original Mortal Kombat movies, the first one was okay, the second one sucked.
Second one doesn't exist in my mind. It
Exactly.
was so
It
bad.
doesn't exist. No, it was terrible. And it doesn't exist, so it's not going to happen.
It's
What are we
it's
talking
like
about?
that. It's like that Sinbad Shazam movie that they say, or Kazam movie that everyone says
Yeah.
never existed. Even Sinbad himself says he never made that movie.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Yep.
No, you know something's bad when the actors are saying, what movie are you talking about?
Yeah,
that never
movie didn't
existed.
exist. I never did that.
Go in their IMDb and it doesn't even show up there.
What do y'all know about this Avowed?
Avowed is a
Oh.
game that's in my top 4 favorite ones of the show, and I've been following it since it was first announced a couple years ago. It's basically a first-person shooter, but fantasy. So you have wands, you can dual wield wands and like guns, but you also have your melee weapons as well. And it's got a very robust story, and they've been talking about during the show that they have more than double-digit possible endings. They didn't say how many, but there was several.
So first-person shooter that's fantasy, and you use melee weapons and
Wands.
wands. So did you just describe Skyrim to me? Like,
Or any Elder Scrolls game for that
or
matter?
any Elder Scrolls game?
Yeah, but this one's more action-focused than those, which is kind of crazy to say, but true. It
Right.
looks very, very good, and it looked very well polished. It's something that is on my list to buy.
Somebody
Okay.
Somebody actually in chat today, or no, it wasn't in chat. I watched a video on TikTok, and they actually ruined Skyrim for me, and I hate it. It makes me so mad, but that's all I can think of now.
All right, now you gotta tell us.
They said that Skyrim is a very well-made game. It's beautiful. It's a great game, but literally everything you do it's just like everything is just running to the next main story objective. That's the whole game. You're just running from one main story objective to the next, and I'm just like,
That is
They're
not true.
they're not playing Skyrim correctly then.
If that's all you're doing in Skyrim, you're not. I have never. It took me 100 hours into the game just to touch the main story.
Technically,
You know
there were
what's
two
funny?
main stories. When we developed it, we had 2 main stories that we were writing. So people
You
think
know
that
what-
the dragon one's the main story, but it's only half of it.
you know what? You want to hear a funny story about Skyrim though? And I guess so I guess it didn't ruin Skyrim for me, but anyway, funny story about Skyrim is that I played that game. I was probably close to 125 hours into that game before I even knew you could get a shout. I didn't even know those shouts existed, and I was like, this would have been really handy.
I won't
Because
lie.
I literally came out of that first cave and just like went my own way.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about those games.
That's what I did. I'm in the
went-
same boat as you.
Went my own way, and I just kind of wandered around and was killing things and found little villages in the mountains and found like caves to raid and just like, and then I'm like, what's this little marker that I'm supposed to go to? But I was so far into that game before I even realized anything.
It's one of my
Hey.
favorite games of all time.
You haven't played that game until you either beat the game with only using healing magic or a fork.
I did a challenge where I did only magic once and couldn't use any melee or any bows or anything like that. That was my most challenging playthrough.
There's a guy I follow on you, or not really follow, but I watch his videos. and he actually tries beating Skyrim in the most unusual ways. He found one fork that actually does damage, and that's what he beat the game with. Then he played, and there's one damaging spell in the healing tree, and he used that and only used healing magic. And it took him forever.
Did announce a VR game that looks interesting. I'm not a big fan of the Batman Arkham series. I know a lot of people are, but the next game in the series is for VR.
It actually,
I saw that.
Arkham
that's going to
Shadow.
be interesting
It looks really cool, actually.
because I do like how Batman Arkham plays. But in VR, that means you're playing first-person view, most likely.
I'm pretty sure Arkham Asylum they released on the PSVR as well.
But this one's being built for VR.
Yeah, if this one's specifically for VR, that's another story, and that's awesome. I love VR. Like I have a PSVR.
I miss my PSVR so much.
One of my favorite series ever to play in VR is Resident Evil. It makes it a whole different game.
So
You're like in a horror movie.
If anyone has a Oculus Quest they don't want, I'll take it. I need a VR system. I mean, right now I've got too many things on my plate. I really can't afford to buy one. Anyway,
you're just gonna have to get yourself a PS5 and get
one
yourself
of the
a PS.
biggest games of the show that I'm not a huge fan of, but a lot of people are, was Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah,
I know
I've played the Monster Hunter games, like at least the first one. And
Mossy in our Discord mentioned that's what he was most jazzed about from the show was Monster Hunter.
To each their own. The Monster Hunter series looks interesting. It just doesn't really. Not one I'm going to go out of my way to play.
My son really enjoyed those games, and I was going to play it once, but for some reason I just didn't.
The game I'm looking forward to is the one we talked to Casper about.
Oh, yeah. Starship Troopers Extermination. And they actually had a big showing about this as well. It does look interesting, I'm not going to lie. And Casper was there. He was promoting the game the entire time. And I watched an interview with him and IGN and the producer of the game.
He was at Gamescom?
Yep.
Nice. Yes.
Now, if only we could have been there.
Like, hey, we talked to that guy. We talked about this game with him before they officially announced it.
We're officially Roughnecks now. I'm just saying. So.
Yeah, I know.
It would have been cool if he would have given us a shout out for first releasing it on our podcast.
We may have been the first person to announce this game because he said it was on the hush hush when he told us about it. So
it was on the hush hush that he was in it.
Yeah, we may have broke the news that he was in it for sure. I don't know about y'all though, but like the game that out of this whole list, the game I'm most excited for is Shattered Space. So
yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. That is my top.
We do a whole show about it. I mean,
that's definitely in my top. I've been super excited about this from the Starfield even first began.
Yes.
I'm even more excited about it now.
Collector's edition, and it said it came with it. I was excited for it right then.
And I fell in love with this game. And obviously, I do a show about it, so I'm not just saying that, but it's amazing. And I have to play it every week, but I like having to play it every week.
Let's be real. You fell in love with Andrasia.
Yes, that's true. She's my boo. There is one game that is on the top of my list that after seeing, I didn't know about it until Gamescom, and when they showed the trailer for it, I got really interested. It's called Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance.
I'm worried about something with the word deliverance in it.
It was awarded as the most anticipated PC game of the show, and it looks extremely good. It's a complete medieval, almost fantasy-based game, and it's open world, and they went true to what medieval looks like, and it looks so good.
So what it's going to be knights in full armor and somebody in the back going no.
Nah, you have the wrong idea. But it looks fantastic.
There's a few medieval games out there. What is it? Mountain Blade's another one that has sticks true to medieval.
Never heard of it.
Stuff. It's actually pretty good. It's an army building game, and I liked it because it sticks true to medieval combat.
Was it RTS?
When it comes to tactics, you control one guy, but you still can command armies.
They had an RTS that was part of the show that I was actually interested in maybe doing. I used to love RTSs. I haven't played them in years, but it was Civilization 7.
Oh, yep. I saw that. I have Civilization 6. I just haven't played it in full.
They said it was more geared to the new players, to the genre, and I was like, oh, okay. Maybe I'll give that one a shot. I haven't played RTS in forever.
I don't know about 7, But I can tell you 6 from personal experience is one of those games where it's like Minecraft where you can sit down and be like, I'm going to play for a few minutes. And then it's like the next day.
Yeah.
So
And you're
my
like,
problem
I
is,
didn't see.
if they say they're gearing it to the new player, I hope they don't water down Civilizations.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to wait on that. And there's a couple of
Sniper?
games that they announced that were but one I really was interested in was Sniper Elite Resistance. I haven't beaten 5 yet, but I love that series, and I'm actually interested in this one too. But then they had a couple that were, it's the physics for sniping in that game is phenomenal. I love it. If you play the higher levels of it, the harder tiers, it gets really, really realistic.
We know you're really looking forward to this Mafia: The Old Country.
I never played the Mafia. I don't never care about it.
Neither have I.
Same with the Dying Light series. I know it's really popular, but not my cup of tea.
I played Dying Light. I played about an hour of Dying Light 1, and then I was like, I'm good.
You know what I care about on this entire list besides Starfield? The fact that they're making a Mario Kart Lego set.
Yes. Lego was actually there, and they had a full-blown booth with a whole bunch of their Lego builds out there just to announce Mario Kart Lego sets. I thought that was fantastic.
Which now they should go and take little GoPros, put them on top of the Mario Kart Lego sets, and then run them around tracks and run into each other.
I'm going to buy the Yoshi one just to have Yoshi. Like, I have Yoshi in a Mario Kart right here on my desk. It's a little toy.
You know, I often give out these $1 million ideas on this show to these companies, and they never thank me for it. But like, with the huge success of all the different Lego games out there, I don't understand how they haven't teamed up and made a Mario Lego game yet, because that would be amazing.
Right? I agree. I love the Lego games.
Busy making superhero Legos.
Dude, I think I played every Lego game.
They haven't even made a Star Trek Lego yet.
That has to happen.
Okay, I played the Lego Harry Potter game, and then the second Lego Harry Potter game, and then went back and played the Lego Harry Potter Complete Saga game, which was like all of them together. I played like all the Lego games.
The Lego games are great, and so are the Lego movies.
I love the movies so much because they're just satires through and through, and it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Lego Batman.
I watched that again not long ago. I was laughing so hard.
I love so bad.
I love that one section where he just goes back. You've been doing this since 19 blah blah blah, and says all the iterations of Batman.
Yeah. So Poke Corey on our Discord said they were really excited about Indiana Jones and that they've already preloaded it.
Yeah, cool. Honestly, it looks really good. It's given me like Uncharted vibes.
And that was a big consensus with this, but with less action.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be like less action, more story, but like kind of Uncharted vibes, and it looks good. And from what if I read it correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a day one release on Game Pass. So if it's there anyway, I might as well play it.
I was about it. I don't really into those first single player action adventure titles like that. I really haven't been.
Yeah, I played a lot of Tomb Raider and stuff as a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's what they need to do, Archon. They need to make a crossover with Indiana Jones, Drake, and Lara Croft.
I mean, they could.
I mean, why not? If Indiana Jones goes good, then you got 3 series that are the same premises that you could do a crossover with.
It wouldn't be difficult to have them work together to try and find something or something. I mean,
even if it's just a DLC for
it'd be like the Avengers of the adventure world here.
Mm-hmm.
The Avengers of the Avengers of Tomb Raiding.
Because the only reason why I think of that is they did something similar in Call of Duty Wildlands, where they actually added DLC missions where you could actually work with Sam Fisher while being part of the Ghost Recon team and stuff like that. So they could easily do the crossover with the Tomb Raiding characters.
Oh, yeah.
Different studios, so I highly doubt it.
I mean...
It's called licensing.
It's not like
I highly doubt it.
Different studios haven't worked together on things before.
This is true.
Anyway, so that was pretty much the key points of Gamescom. It wasn't as much as I was hoping this year, but it was still really big. Gaming is taking an interesting turn the last few years, so we're going to have to keep an eye on things and see how things go. Mm-hmm. But that is it for today's show. If you want to join the cool kids, go to Discord. Our Discord is discord.gg/raw podcasts. If you don't know what Discord is, look it up and come and join us. It's fun. It's where all the good people are. Our show email, if you want to reach out to us for advertising or anything else like that, or appearing on the show or recommendations for the show, podcastraw@gmail.com. Our Twitter is @podcastraw. Our Facebook is Raw Podcast, and our Instagram,
Raw Podcast 1.
You can follow us individually as well. I am @thewidget, THEWIGIT, on everything. You can even search that on Google. You'll find my books.
I am Tomcat213 or some variation of that on almost everything except for X and Steam. I am Rook213.
And I am on all social medias as the Archon606. I totally blanked for a second. And if you want to find me on video game platforms, it's quick QWICK_D_606.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody, and have a fantastic nerdy week.
Y'all stay nerdy now. You hear?
Have a great week, guys.